Hello, I'm Julie Powers, and this is the Fit Farmington Mo Healthy Living Showcase, and it is the sponsor spotlight for 2021. And today I am really happy to talk with Dr. Michelle Corvallis, who is a returning sponsor for the second year of the Fit Farmington Mo program, which is it's a unified effort for the community, spearheaded by the City of Farmington, Parks and Recreation Department, and several of us very passionate volunteers about getting our community fit and healthy. And we're focusing on 4 areas: physical, nutritional, emotional, and mental wellness. And so our sponsors are all part of that, and they offer products and services that relate to one or more of those different areas. And so Dr. Corvallis, or Michelle, I know Dr. Michelle is kind of what most of your patients call you. So can you tell me what it is about the Fit Farmington Mo program that made you want to be part of it and to come back for a second year?
I just really like that it gets the community involved. I think the biggest part of health in general is having a community to stand behind and a community that helps you get healthy. So I really like the fact that you guys are pulling in the whole Fit Farmington aspect of bringing in the whole town and surrounding towns and saying, hey guys, we're having these programs, we're having these classes, we're doing everything. So it makes it really easy for groups of people, large groups of people, which will, under 10, to get together and try to get healthy or try to be the best they can be. So that's why I really, really like the whole idea of the Fit Farmington thing. So I just love sponsoring something like that.
Well,
Awesome.
we appreciate you. And as a chiropractor, and you've been a chiropractor in Farmington for how many years?
This will be my 3rd year.
Yes, and we're so happy to have you here.
Mhm.
And, as a chiropractor, you really do have like the full spectrum of care in your office. And so would you say that, what area would you say you really mostly focus on out of those 4?
It kind of depends on the patient. Like a lot of people, physical, definitely, because I'm getting the mechanical system working correctly. But when people feel better, they emotionally and mentally feel more stable. And then when people are working already on their physical being, they also start to work on their nutritional being as well. So it all works together. There's not one aspect that I just totally focus on. It's the whole person as a being and one thing. Because if you're physically not correct, then again, you're not mentally or emotionally correct. And going back to, you can be in great physical shape, but if your diet's terrible, you're still not correct. Because I know everyone gets those, they eat a whole bunch of sugar and they get the sugar high and then they crash. So it's kind of the same thing. It all works together. So
Right.
that's where I come and I just work everything out, and we make sure that mentally a patient's doing good. Emotionally, I want people to feel emotionally stable and safe. And then nutritionally, I do a lot of nutrition. And then of course the physical aspect of getting the spine moving and the muscles released.
Very good. And so, I know that people are familiar with chiropractic services, but there might be somebody watching this video who has never been to a chiropractor before. Can you kind of explain what the basic plan is? Whenever you walk into a chiropractor's office, what would they expect?
So, every chiropractor is different, but most chiropractor, our main job is to get joints moving correctly. The reason most people have pain is because a joint has stopped moving or has come out of place, which what we call is a subluxation, which means it's moved out of the realm of, or the plane it's supposed to be in. So our job is to put motion back in that joint, which allows the body to move correctly. And everybody again is different. So I use mainly my hands. Now, some patients I do use the activator, which is an adjusting tool. It's a much lighter force. But I do that with people who have conditions or like an osteoporosis or osteopenia, or some people just don't like their neck adjusted, which is totally fine. So I'll just use the activator, or I use what's called flexion distraction, which means that I do a lot more stretching of the lumbar spine and getting the muscles released along with the vertebral bodies. So that's where, again, every chiropractor is a little different. But when you walk into a chiropractor's office, mainly the reason you're walking in is because you have pain. And the reason you have pain is because your joints have stopped functioning correctly, which has then put pressure on a nerve, which then causes pain. So, you just kind of have to baby step back to getting that joint moving correctly, taking the pressure off the nerve, getting the muscular system to work better or the way it's supposed to, and then having no pain. So
right. And in your office, I know that every chiropractor's office is a little bit different about how they're set up. You actually have one patient in the room at a time, and you
yes.
have a special table that you said that you're doing a lot of the stretching, and it actually kind of folds down in different areas so that you can really stretch out the body before you do the adjustment. And then you also offer, like you have some special equipment. You have something called the Magna Wave. And what is that exactly? And why would somebody want you to use that on them?
Yeah, so the Magna Wave uses PEMF therapy, which is pulse electric magnetic field therapy. So what that means is we're using a pulse, which is the electrical aspect of it. And that electrical aspect helps break up like a muscle spasm, or if you have a nerve that's spasming or causing that spasm, that electrical aspect kind of turns the nerve off. And then it says, easy, calm down, nerve, you don't have to spasm. My favorite part of that machine is the magnetic aspect because it helps pull in healthy blood flow, which has a positive charge, and it helps push out inflammation, which has a negative charge. So at the same time I'm helping turn off that spasm, I'm also helping heal that tissue because there's a reason that muscle's in spasm. It could be because you accidentally micro tore something, or the joint's really out of place and there's a bunch of inflammation putting pressure on the nerve again, or you have a horrible bursitis or something like that. And that's where that Magna Wave comes in and helps not only stop the muscle from spasming, but heal that tissue or that surrounding area.
Right. And I know that you have talked about having some really good outcomes with patients who have migraines and things like that. So that's a really helpful tool. And then you have some other equipment there that is used for different uses.
Yeah, so I have a class 4 laser, which I use that if I have a chronic condition, or chronic or acute, it kind of depends. Like the chronic condition, like a bursitis or a tendonitis that just will not go away. You've tried everything. Then I start to hit it.
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Exactly. Then we have to hit it with the laser because that laser gets that photon therapy so deep into that tissue that it really helps, one, again, get that inflammation out of there, because most of the reasons we have issues is because of inflammation, systemic inflammation or pinpoint inflammation. That'll cause a big issue. So that laser helps pull out or literally evaporate that fluid, but it also helps the tissue healing as well. So with a laser, it makes those cells regenerate faster than if we just hit it with like ice or an e-stim, something like that. So those laser therapy is really some cool stuff. And I've had great results with like the tendonitis, plantar fasciitis. I have a few people right now that we're doing it for neuropathies, and it has worked great. I mean, surprising, honestly, how quickly it's helped these people, because I wasn't expecting that. But everything,
great.
Yeah, everything works for a reason. So that laser is really, really cool.
And then of course, great.
Yeah, really cool stuff. And then of course I do the acupuncture. So that's always fun.
So can you explain to whoever might be watching what acupuncture is and how it works?
Yeah. So acupuncture, of course, is using those little tiny needles. I wish I had a pack of them up here, but I don't. They're really teeny tiny. They're not too scary. And the whole basis behind acupuncture is getting the chi or your aura moving correctly. Because what happens is if we have an area of pain or if we have an issue, that causes chi stagnation. So that chi stops moving in that area. So what we use the needles for is to pretty much like an antenna. We put that needle in and we turn it a certain direction, causing the chi to either come to that area, or if we have too much chi in that area, to push the chi away from that area. So it's just kind of, opening the dam and getting the water to flow correctly. That's where that acupuncture really helps. So, and of course, acupuncture we can use it for a whole slew of things.
Right. And so it's very safe.
Oh,
The needles aren't going to like make you, squirt blood all over the place.
no.
Um, although I have had a few little droplets.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but you can use that at any time. Sometimes it's just for relaxation. Sometimes it's for an acute problem. I know you talked about when someone has sprained their ankle and you've done
Yeah.
something where you circle the dragon
Circle
and
the drain.
you
Yeah.
really do a targeted acupuncture treatment, and that
Mhm.
helps take that inflammation out and get the blood flowing and the energy flowing through the
Yeah.
body the right way.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And I have, going back to that, like the mental stability of everyone, I want to say 75% of my acupuncture patients they come in for anxiety reasons. They have this chronic anxiety that they're just trying to get control of, and acupuncture really seems to help with that. It's pretty
Right.
amazing. Yeah.
Well, I do know from personal experience that I always feel much more relaxed whenever I leave than when I come in.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
so can you tell us where you're located?
So I am located, my actual address is 17 South Franklin Street in Farmington. I'm right across the street from City Hall and Public Works in that little strip mall. Yep, so
Okay.
right there, right on South Franklin.
And if somebody wanted to find out more about your business, then they can go to harmonychiropracticllc.com
Yep,
on the web, or they can go to your Facebook page, which is
yeah.
also under the same name.
hmm
What is your phone number there?
So my phone number is 573-915-5200. And
Okay.
that's the best way to get a hold of me, is to call the office, because I'm not on social media very much, and I'm pretty busy, so I'm not always with my cell phone or anything like that. So the best way to get a hold of me is to call the office. And if I don't answer, my mom/CA will answer, and she'll get you on the books.
Right. It's always nice when you have your mother working as your
Oh,
office manager. So, are there any other products or services that you would like for people to know that you have available at your office, so that whenever they come in, they know what to expect from your office?
yeah, well, not really. Every patient is different. So it's kind of just whatever you present as is what I'm gonna do. And I'm one of those, like, we might set a plan, but if it's not working, then we're gonna change the plan, or I'm gonna find someone to help with the issue. I know a lot of people, they get worried about coming to a chiropractor because they're scared that they're just gonna get stuck in this hamster wheel of just coming in and not getting any better. And that's not how this office works. My whole job is to make people feel better. So if you're not feeling better with what I'm doing, then again, we're either going to change what I'm doing, or I'm going to find you someone that will make you feel better. So that's where I think a lot of people get a little worried about that. So
Right. Well, I can say this for sure from personal experience, that you definitely have the outcome in mind for people, that you want them
yeah,
to walk out feeling much better. So
yeah,
I do appreciate that. And we really appreciate you just being out there in the community and working toward helping this whole community feel better,
yeah.
and be able to go about their daily lives in the way that they want to. So thank you very much for being part of Fit Farmington.
Oh, thank you for having it. I think it's such a great idea. So it's a wonderful thing for everybody.
Thanks.
All right.